Welcome back to Smart Cousin TV show. According to the heading today, the beginning of Igbo hatred in Nigeria, why North and East can never be one and can never see themselves as one in this country. This is a full details and a full background of the reason why the North and the East, which is the Igbos, don't love themselves. Make sure to watch this video to the end, because this our brother here, he really explained a lot of things concerning the Saldana of Kano and the Saldana of Sokoto, and the issue between the war and the reason why the war is being fought, and the reason why the North still till date hates the Igbo because of the belief that the Igbo kill their leader, which is the Saldana of Sokoto then. And what caused the war? Because sometimes some people may be asking, why did every time Igbo will be agitating to leave Nigeria, Igbo will be conversing to be on their own, a trade, all those things. So there is a reason, and there's a reason for all those things. And why they not say that they will never forgive the Igbos because of one thing. Because of one thing. Upon that, they killed a lot of they buy a lot of people in the North then, and the reason why they declare war, and they declare war over the East, and all those things happen because of one man in the country, one man from the North. And this man is going to explain a lot of things concerning what happens and the reason cause those things. So as you're about to watch, like, subscribe, and make sure you share the video to go around, let others see what's really happened and what is going on in Nigeria.
Good day, my people. You're welcome to this very, very critical and important discussion. Now, one of the reasons why Nigeria will never be one, we pretend to be one. One of the reasons why we will never be one, it is the coup. What the British called the Igbo coup. They tagged it the Igbo coup, where leaders both in the southwest and in the north were killed. And because of these leaders being killed, there was a resentment, a hate for a particular tribe called the Igbo. Even though the Igbos did not really send Kaduna Nzogu and co to carry out that coup. Yes, since 1966, January 15th, today is January 15th, yes, 2026, it is 60 years that the North is remembering what happened to their leader. You see, the British have successfully created a template. I told you that this foundation cannot work. This foundation of resentment. We disagree. You killed my leader. I am Igbo. The problem of Nigeria are Igbo. The problem of Nigeria are Yoruba. That division, it is what the British, the colonial masters want, so that they can be able to rule you and take your resources. It is what they call divide and rule. Before the colonial masters came into this our space, we're not having boundaries. They had to make sure that they divided. They knew that if we were united, they could not conquer us. But they had to create something. And one of the deepest wounds in Nigeria's history is the 1966 killing of one of Northern Nigeria's greatest statesmen, Ahmadu Bello. Now, I want to read something critical. Let me read something critical. Ahmadu Bello never wanted one Nigeria. I tell you, some people are angry that I'm saying Nigeria is not one. We need to restructure. Ahmadu Bello, at a point in time, never wanted one Nigeria. I want to read this remark. Let's look at this remark. Okay. Ahmadu Bello made a mistake he said the mistake of 1914. Nigeria was a mistake of 1914, according to Sir Ahmadu Bello. He said this in 1953, reflecting his concern about the South's earlier educational and political advancement that would lead to Southern rule over the North. You know, Northerners, not only that then, well, seeing that the Southerners are more educated, the Southerners are advancing in different disciplines of life, while the North is like dragging back because of their system, even till today. So he never wanted a one Nigeria because he was afraid that the South will rule over the North. I tell you, he was afraid that the South will rule over the North. And the colonialists, never wanted a divided Nigeria. They wanted a way whereby everybody will be lumped together. So any idea, anyone that will be pushing against their own conception of Nigeria, I told you that the conception of this Nigeria, what the Oyibo wants is for you to be fighting yourself. Look at us critically now. We literally hate ourselves. You see, we pretend that we like ourselves, but when it comes to politics and power, they'll now go and bring Igbos, Nyamiri. They'll now go and bring Yorubas. If you speak to, we have so many people having resentment against different tribes. If you speak to a Yoruba man, I spoke to one Yoruba man the other time. He said that the Igbos are the problem of Nigeria. You speak to another person, Igbo man, they'll say Fulani is the problem of Nigeria. You speak to some Yorubas are saying that Yorubas are the problem of Nigeria. This is the state the British want us to stay. They want us to be in this state and confuse ourselves. If we are not united, if there's nothing that is dividing us, if you are not working together, like you have a system, a car, the engine is not working, but the legs want to work, you cannot move, you cannot make progress. And Britain, they are willing. See, that's why anybody that want to push for Pan-Africanism, liberation through relation, is not all this independence. Anybody that wants to push for through independence, the West will make sure that they eliminate that person. Look at Patrice Lumumba. Take a look at Patrice Lumumba. Now, the match that was played by Congo, you saw that young man representing the statue, the gesture of Patrice Lumumba. You know an example. Look at Nnamdi Kanu wanting to push. Look at Sunday Igboho. They have to make sure that they box you and put you in a like you become irrelevant, because they cannot influence a truly independent African country. Young soldiers woke up one morning, they wanted to purge the system, and most of them were Igbo. Like, according to some accounts, we had Yoruba and other tribes. You see, this argument will be arguing till tomorrow. Somebody has his own definition or his own story about the coup. Somebody has his own story. Adimu Legun, this person, there was the different tribes were represented. It was mainly Igbo. I want to read the comment section because it is highly tribalistic. It is highly tribalistic. I wouldn't want to read comment section. The only thing I can say is that if we continue like this, we'll be destroyed as a people. Every one of us. If we do not look for a pathway to restructure ourselves, like whatever happened in the past, we cannot keep on dwelling in the past. Whatever happened in the past, the political leaders know what to do. And in a structured system, we can be able to make progress. But if we still continue, look at what people were saying. Let me just read some of the things. It may not be suitable for this broadcast. Let's look at what somebody says. Sir Aduna was killed by Major Chukwuma Nzogu, an Igbo soldier. Look at the tag, Igbo soldier. The British used their media propaganda and said it was an Igbo coup. And the Igbo coup, in quote, according to Britain. Who doesn't know Britain as one of the biggest propaganda, one of the countries that if they do propaganda here, you go run away. Look at all the leagues in the world. Look at the leagues in the world. Look at the Premier League. Look at La Liga. Look at our league in Nigeria. Which one has much more publicity, much more hype? Look at the La Liga. Who play football much more? You can see the British, they know how to hype. So with their hype, with their propaganda skills, they were saying, they just used the word Igbo coup. From there, they had to give a tribe a bad name. They gave them a bad mark. You saw the killings in Northern Nigeria in retaliation to what happened. You see, the British will come and they will plant seeds of discord. They do not do this subtly. That's how they plant your food, GMO. They eliminate some of your naturals and start creating some things that you'll be consuming to destroy yourself. They do. Look at COVID-19. Some people had to take the vaccine. At the end of the day, there's many conspiracy theories about COVID-19. You see how they came and said, if COVID-19 want to wipe away the whole world, you must take vaccine. That's how they operate. The British came and they put a lot of division. They planted a lot of hatred. Sir Adna said that the Igbos are taking over our work in the civil service. We have to stop this, because if we continue like this, they'll take over everything. They'll take over Northern Nigeria. What we'll do is that we'll make sure that If a leader, if you have a foreman in a factory, is that how we employ an expatriate? If we don't see an expatriate, if we don't see a capable northerner, we employ an expatriate. We now put a northerner under him so that he can learn under the expatriate. That is what Northern Nigeria has been doing over the years. Look at our federal ministries. Most of the people that are getting employment at our federal parastatals, they are not qualified, really qualified for that job. In quotes, they are not really qualified. But they'll put them so that they can learn on the job. That's how Northerners have been doing over the years. So the resentment was there. He was afraid of how the Southerners can just overnight, they will take over the government. That is why when they were saying one Nigeria, they have to say, this one Nigeria you want us to agree to, let the key be in the hands of the Fulani. Let the rights to rule, like the ownership of this one Nigeria, let it be given to the Fulani. I listen to some people when they are saying a lot of things about Nigeria. They say the Naira means never allow Igbo rule again. I heard it from a lot of our Igbo brothers. Never allow Igbo rule again. Shore said it. It seems that there is a consensus amongst some other tribes that do not allow the Igbo rule. So many things are wrong. And if we continue in this manner and way, see, we are not going to get... See, it's going to affect both the Igbos, both the Hausas, both the Fulani, both the Ijos, both the Kalabari, both the Ibibios, and the Yorubas. Everybody, we cannot... Are you shocked that from that 1966 till now, 60 years, we have not been able to tangibly, there's nothing we can boast of. There's nothing. There's nothing we can boast of. Is it light? Is it infrastructure? Is it healthcare? Ordinary water, we cannot provide for our citizens because we are here doing this one, Yoruba-led federal government. That one, Fulani-led federal government. Igbos, if you give Igbos allowance to rule, they will do this one too. They will send Nigeria. We cannot allow this one. This one are minority. That one are minority. A lot of things are happening. And people that love this country should know that it is only restructuring that is going to get us the development, because we cannot stay like this. We are backward. We are backward. We cannot. We need to meet up. We are called the giant of Africa. Imagine a giant of Africa that is not self-sufficient when it comes to some basic things. It does not produce for itself. Okay, Nigeria produces a lot of things. We produce cars. We go and carry somebody else's technology. We pack up. We bring them inside Nigeria. We carry Oyibo expatriates that got the education in their country. They come and they handle this factory for us. We just have to work some menial jobs, some little jobs. The people that handle the engineering of the system are not Nigerians. And you say, we produce now, we produce car, we produce motor. Look at Dangote refinery. It is expatriates that really run that refinery, because our Nigerian engineers are not trusted enough to handle such projects. 60 years down the line, we have not been able to measure. Most of our brains are going out of the country. Most of our doctors are leaving the rural areas. Our healthcare sector is failing and dying. Even the herbalists, they are even coming up. The herbalists are coming up with so many herbs. You take this and take that. Our healthcare sector is dying. Most people are leaving the country because of this thing planted by the British that we hate ourselves. I just talked about Northern Nigeria saying that Tinubu may be Nigeria's last president. You see, the resentment and hatred. And the West are looking at it critically. They are interested in your election. Don't think that, oh, it has gone now. It is ourselves. We should blame ourselves. Jonathan came out and told us that the United States, they were involved in his election loss. Obama and co, they connived with some elements and created a system. I don't want to say this one. Let me not say this one. And created a party, and that party was used to remove a sitting president. And you sit down like this, say, how possible is that now? How possible is this now? Look at what happened in Venezuela. If not for Russia and China, because of their status in the world, don't you think that America will have taken them out? Not to talk of you. They are interested in the system. If Tinubu is not cooperating in a way with the West, with US, with Israel, with United States, if the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not cooperating with them, do you think that his leg will not go to shake by now? Do you think that the US will have not instigated a lot of confusion in his governance, in the government? You are hearing of $9 million lobby up and down, lobby up and down. They're interested. Anytime a government exists in Nigeria that they say we want to be really independent of any foreign influence, we want to rework our foreign policy, we want to restructure our foreign policy, we can align with anybody at any point in time. Now that you know, say some people they direct the affairs of Nigeria. Anytime Tinubu says now Nigeria is free to align with anybody, whether China, whether US, we have a choice. We are independent now. We have a choice to align with anybody. Now time you say Trump, but they remember say, I think there's a report about this president, a drug report. We need to take action. We need to make sure we bring it down. The drug they are bringing into they have brought drugs into the US and it has destroyed America. They will look for an excuse. Now time you say the idea on the eye for America to remain in this state. That is their plan. Now the country is fighting for Biafra. I told some people, you are fighting for Biafra and you are waiting for US, America to give you Biafra. You are waiting for Finland to give you Biafra. So this, usually, you know those people now. This small boy, what do you know? Come on here, what do you know? What is happening now? God help Samanekpa that after he finishes his jail term, he's not brought into Nigeria. They don't negotiate his coming to Nigeria, which is like 70% likely. I told some people that they have arrested Samanekpa. He says it's a lie. They cannot arrest them. They cannot arrest. Finland cannot arrest. From Finland cannot arrest Samanekpa. We heard that they arrest him. They say he's not in prison. He's coming from his house. He's going from his house to the court. From his house to the court. Somebody that is in court, like he's in the custody of the government. He's coming from his house, not in court. Somebody that the allegations of terrorism, sponsoring terrorism, they will leave him to come from house. I've been saying this. Now the Britain, they have succeeded in giving us a deep wound that will never allow us genuinely work together as a people, even when we really have good intentions. Some elements, you see, let's imagine we forget the Civil War. Because there's no how. If you remember the past and we make adjustment, let's imagine we make adjustment. We apologize for whatever Kaduna Zongo and Co did. They did not consult the Nigerian people. Most of these leaders, you see that they just acted in their capacity just because they have an Igbo name and they have a little following. They will not say this man represents the Igbo people. Most of the things our leaders do, they don't do the intention. Like in the Southeast now, if you do your referendum in the Southeast, most Southeasterners, they want Biafra, but most of the political leaders don't want Biafra. So you are going to say your political leaders, they just use them to cover. The people are not in sync with the political leaders in the Southeast. The same way some of these people in the past did all what they did. Although we have, every tribe has their flaws. Every tribe has their flaws. Babangida wrote in his book, he said something, that coup initially was not an Igbo coup, but somehow it metamorphosed into something else entirely. According to Babangida in his book, it was not an Igbo coup initially, but somehow it turned into, there was much argument about that. So for an Igbo man to rule Nigeria because his brother killed the Sardana of Sokoto, that is the mentality you are running. So the Igbo man is locked in an everlasting hatred or fight with the Fulani, all because, you see, they are not that they are genuinely saying such because they want the betterment of the country, it's because of political power. Politicians can use any means, through any means, Mamagumago, left, right, center, use them, lobby for power.
Oh yes. This was brother, he have explained the one he knows, and he have tried according to what he explained here. But what is there is that the best solution to this country, because as the government, they don't want a true federalism of the country. The best way is for them to grant a referendum to any states that want to secede from Nigeria. The best way is to divide the nation for peace to reign. No matter how the years no matter how the way they paint the country, everybody have seen that Nigeria mind can never be one. Nigeria can never be one. The only people that claim that Nigeria is in unity is only the politicians, those who gain and those who make money from the suffering of the poor men. They are the people that claim that Nigeria is unity. But apart from that, other people, they are suffering, they are crying. In fact, they are in abject poverty day by day. People are just passing through. But as for those who have already make it, who is being occupied and who is being monitoring the company, because Nigeria is a company of a white man. So those that is monitoring the company, they are the people that is appraising and that is praising what is going on, and that is clapping for the things that is going on. And those people that will never leave power. And whenever they see there is any power, any person that is coming up to challenge the power that is here, the next thing they'll try to eliminate you or try to put you in a place that they will never hear your voice again. That is what is there. Well, I would like to hear your comments down below. What do you think about the whole thing happening in Nigeria? Like, subscribe, and share the video to go around. Let others see what is happening and understand the level of things going on in the country. Thank you for watching.